Cloudy World. And man, this is everything that the NBA is proving right now, bro. If y'all don't know, NBA's tapped in right now, and that boy Switch y'all be going crazy. So we tapped in too. Let's get it.
A good chance when 30, aka Batman, is on the floor. So life is good.
Great. About 6 weeks out, right where I need to be, baby. And we getting that bitch this year.
Last year, the Golden State Warriors made an extremely desperate move. They traded for Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline. And not only did they trade for him, they also gave him this contract. Now, at the time, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like it because, like I said, it simply felt desperate. Jimmy seemed to be extremely disengaged. Jimmy historically has always been a bit of a headache for his franchises. Jimmy has always seemed a bit injury prone. And most importantly, Jimmy is aging. But like Jimmy's done multiple times, he proved me wrong, at least initially. The Warriors went 23-1 post that trade, and that run literally helped them squeeze into the playoffs. Jimmy Butler also had playoff Jimmy type moments, specifically in that Memphis play-in game and in that first round versus Houston. But now that seems to be the extent of the positives with this move.
See, that's the thing about Jimmy Butler, bro, because he's one of my favorite players, and I think that he has a skill set that should equate to winning basketball. The problem is that his primes have always been when he had sub-quality teammates. And I feel like he has that aspect of LeBron where his game in big moments sometimes is heavily reliant on a teammate that can make things happen, like a Duncan Robinson that's just super hot from three, 6 for 7, or like a what's that one dude, bro? They traded him over to the Hornets, I think. Oh, nah, he got traded to the Sixers too. Like that one dude, Caleb Martin or something, I think. That was just really smooth, really hot for like randomly 4 or 5 playoff games. Like his game can only go so far, and it makes sense that he wanted to go somewhere where it's like a Steph Curry, but you need like a real young Jordan Poole type piece to glue all that stuff together, bro. All these vets just doesn't make things work. It's too many old dudes, bro. You need some YNs.
Going back to Golden State giving him this contract, Jimmy Butler currently is the 5th highest paid player in the league. Golden State currently has 2 players in the top 5. And while one of them still lives up to that, the other one clearly doesn't. These are the Warriors with the highest single game point totals this year. And Jimmy Butler simply isn't on this enough, especially when you add the context of their best player, Steph, being hurt this year. Now, Jimmy has been hurt this year too. This is an old-ass team, and we always knew that. But the problem I've always kind of had with Jimmy is this. With Steph this year, Jimmy Butler averages 11 shots a game. When Stephen Curry doesn't play, and I even took out the OKC game where Jimmy Butler got hurt early, he still averages 1 more shot. I understand Jimmy's older, and
Yeah, bro. Jimmy is trying to coast. I keep telling folks, like, bro, that era where players cared about a ring, it's just not really where they're focused on no more. Curry doesn't really care about a 5th. Curry just likes to win. If that winning comes with a ring, he'd be happy, but he's clearly just in it for, passion for the game. LeBron, he's like, that dude is doing anything he can, minimizing his role to the maximum if it means to get that next ring. He's trying to establish a different level of dominance. I feel like Jimmy Butler's just balling. And that lack of focus is exactly why they're where they're at right now. Like, on some real.
they pretty much brought him there for the whole playoff Jimmy thing. But one, last year when Steph got hurt, Jimmy couldn't even get them one game or have one crazy heroic performance like he used to. And two, this isn't the Eastern Conference. Remember in Jimmy Butler's last great playoff moment, they were in the play-in tournament and made that run as an 8th seed. That mode that he used to tap into specifically for the playoffs back then has to be activated way earlier now. And if not, the trade goes back to looking desperate, the contract looks bad, and Steph still doesn't have the help that he needs. Today's video is sponsored by Manscaped.
It's sad, bro. It's sad that Jimmy Butler, like, bro, Jimmy Butler has to be way more than he, I guess, was trying to be, and that's kind of a problem. That to me is the big problem.
This goddamn Joker guy, man. What he's shooting like? Did they say in like the last 5 or 6 games he's shooting like 77% from the field?
Yeah, this season in 3 weeks, I think he's at 67%
Oh
from the field.
my god! And by the way, and this is not like one of those guys back in the day, like all dunks, you know, or all layups. No, this is everything.
All three
levels.
I remember making this video 3 years ago, basically about us not really having a definitive best player in the league. Giannis was who I thought was the best, but he just gave that title to Steph, who just won an NBA championship. Steph was older, but the run he just went on was insane. Joel Embiid was in the...
I feel like Steph Curry is just asked to be way too much still, bro. I'm still surprised he's putting up these like 27, 28 games. Like his play style, of course, facilitates that type of scoring, but it's just crazy that 20 years in and they still haven't found a way to at least like heavily minimize him on a game-to-game basis. And I think that just shows how talented Steph Curry is, bro. Because there's stars that you see them play, you think they're so dominant. Curry wins. That's so crazy to me, bro. It's really unique. It's really cool, bro. Like, that boy Curry is one of them for real.
Midst of his MVP campaign, and Nikola Jokic didn't go on this championship run yet, and his defensive limitations was still a question mark. But now, I respect Wemby for saying how he feels, but I don't even think that's much of a question at this point. Last year, especially at the end, Denver looked like an absolute mess. Jokic had more crash outs and episodes than I've ever seen him have. Russ felt like their entire bench, and he's always been shaky in the playoffs. They had absolutely no backup center whatsoever, and they fired Mike Malone abruptly. Despite all of that, and Aaron Gordon having a bad hammy, they still went 7 games with this team. I don't even think Jokic played to his standard last year in the playoffs. Probably one of his worst of his career, and he still did this. This is the best player breathing, and this year with a little bit more help, it's been even more evident. This summer, the Denver Nuggets finally got Jokic, a reliable backup center. And you want to know exactly what he looks like with simply 2 more minutes of rest. These are the highest PER seasons of all time. And I'm going to talk about Shea in a second. But look at where Jokic is. It's one thing to average a triple-double. And the fact that that's even normalized now is still kind of mind-blowing. But to basically be averaging 30 while leading the league in damn near every efficiency category, while simultaneously leading the league in assists and rebounds as a center, it's just something I don't know if we're ever going to see again. This year, Jokic is 4th in total points. He basically plays every game. He can get to his spot whenever he wants to, and he can get at the top of this list if he really wanted to. Now, if you look at the points he generates from his assists alone, he's still damn near cracking the top 10. To me, he's the most dominant offensive player that I've ever seen. To truly show his impact, and he's honestly been doing this for years. If you look at the highest plus-minus players this year, and take OKC out of it, bro, they beat motherfuckers by 15 points a game. Nikola Jokic is first by a long shot.
Does the regular season record, mean something to you guys? Is that something that you guys want to check off, and would that be notable to achieve that?
Absolutely. Winning matters. And no matter what form it looks like to me. So absolutely.
And speaking of OKC,
It's boof. It's boof. Bro, OKC is trash. Dog water. Garbage, bro. Straight hot garbage, bro. It actually surprises me that you even get love, bro. OKC, you're terrible. You're actually terrible, bro. And the fact that you got that foo-foo rigged 6th game, bro, and that boy Hallie got injured, is so trash. OKC sucks. OKC sucks. OKC sucks, bro. Point blank, bro.